I'm not too sure what happened there. I really don't. My phone just cut off. My phone cuts out sometimes like that. But anyway, what we're saying. So yeah. So after I started seeing those faces, right, I noticed and felt a very cold presence, right? And it was a very cold presence. And so initially, I felt the coldness, right? But yeah, what's that? Anyway, yeah, I felt the coldness. And then after that, the cold presence, it started to become pressure. So it's almost like a pressure was coming onto me, right? Now at this point, like I said, I'm fully aware what's going on. But for some reason, I decided, let me see what's going on here. Because, once I started to feel that cold presence, I already knew this might not be a good thing. But I had to see, right? So once I felt the coldness, it was under pressure, right? It's very hard to explain. Like the pressure is it's very weird. You just felt like someone's pressing down onto me, yeah. So it was very cold, and it felt like a pressure was being applied onto my body. All right. Now at this point, I was already aware of I was very aware of where I was in bed and how I was laying. I had one of my legs were out of the duvet, and then once I felt that cold pressure, I heard a sound. I can't really recall or describe what the sound was, but there's nothing in my room at night that I leave on that will make sounds, right? The central heating ain't on, the radiator's not on. But anyway, I heard a sound, right? So initially that got me a bit, what's that? After I heard that sound, a couple of seconds later, I felt something grab my lower leg, right, on my calf. Like someone doing this, trying to grab your arm, well, my leg. I felt that, right? Literally felt it, right? And I thought, what the hell is this, right? Like, again, this is a new experience now, right? And then at this point, I was trying to get myself out of this. I was trying to take myself out of this astral projection. I was trying to take myself out of it. I was shouting and screaming, like, who the fuck is this? Get the fuck off me, right? And then I felt it again, a bit further up in my body, probably towards my hip. Again, something trying to grab, right? Again, I was shouting loud, get the fuck off me, like basically, right? Right. So I got myself out of that, right? And that's when I finally come back round to normal consciousness. Okay, I come out of the astral projection, and that really shit me up. These things that I'm talking about, anybody who's watched Insidious or The Conjuring, those kind of films, these things are based on real life, right? Based on real life. And obviously these things will happen to, they don't happen to a lot of people, but happen to some people, okay? And so basically it pretty much confirmed, well, I already got my confirmation from June the 13th this year. Friday the 13th of June this year at 3 a.m. I got my confirmation that I was under spiritual attack. Right? I already got my confirmation then, right? So I already knew something was trying to get my fucking soul. There's something out there wants my soul, wants my vessel, right? So I already knew that anyway, right? So after that, I never had any, since then, I never really had any experiences, nothing like that. Nothing really happened since then. But again, now I think what's happened again. Since then, I've been going through a lot of shit again. Since then, now my life's changed quite a lot for the worse again. So now again, now I'm under. I'm now I'm on a I'm back into a mentally weaker state. Now I'm not saying I'm at my weakest because I've been weaker, but I'm not in a good state. I'm in a weakened state again because my life's just been changed upside down. I've lost everything. I've got no job, no driver license, or which I've already explained in an earlier video before. Yeah, so so my life's changed a hell of a lot. I've basically been stripped up. I've basically been stripped to the bare bones now. Like, I've never been this stripped before in my life. So, so I'm going through it now. So again, you know, over the last month or so, yeah, that's when it really hit me. That's once once I found out some news that really changed my life, and again, I'm obviously at a weakened state again. Now, have I been at a weaker state? Yes, I have. I have back in 2022, 2023, right? But I feel, but since just because my my level of weakness, should I say, is not as bad as it was then, doesn't mean I'm still not at a certain level. I am, but I think like going through that shit what I went through a few years ago, it's pretty much made me. It basically stopped my head from falling off at a minute now, right? Where really it could have, right? So even though I do feel a bit stronger, but I'm still weak, and that's why. Again, I was this time under a spiritual attack again. Again, physically this time I felt whatever fucking entity or entities out there, they're trying to fucking get me, right? And thank God I was able to take myself out of that state, because if I didn't take myself out of that state, I don't know what happened. I wouldn't know what would have happened. I don't know whether I would have been possessed, or what worse, died. I could have died in my sleep. They could have took control of my vessel, right? And obviously, the physical form of myself will still be here, but my soul would be gone. So, at worst, I would have been, someone would have found me lifeless in bed. So, so I'm glad I got out of that, because that was very nerve-wracking, to say the least. And I know, once I come around from that, I fucking got up. As soon as I got up in bed, put the lights on, boy, I couldn't get back to sleep, man. Like, that really fucked me up, that did. Like, whoever these entities are, they're clearly coming for me, because they know I've got a certain level of what's the word? I'm trying to think what the word is. A certain level of resilience, right? And that's what some of these entities want. They want that. They don't necessarily come for the weak, but if someone who's kind of strong-minded gets weak, that's their time to come and attack and try and get it, and try and get them, right? So that's what these entities want. They want the strong. They want the strong-minded, right? And yeah, so that's what's going on. And that really did shake me up. That really did shake me up, because the last time it almost killed me. The last time, when I had that crash, they they did they won to a point. They did win because, like I said, I lost everything from that. The only thing I didn't lose was my spirit, my body and mind. I didn't lose that because I didn't end up dying, even though I was very close to. But they won in terms of. This is what I'm trying to say about the devil, right? And he's, what they do, right? These devil, demons, whatever, whatever you want to call them, right? Whatever good certain people have got going on, they'll just take it and destroy it. They'll just keep destroying it, right? And yeah, so they'll do what they'll do what they gotta do, right? So what happened back in nearly 6 months? What happened 5 months ago had a big knock-on effect, Yes, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I survived. Yes, I did. But I lost everything else after that. Okay, and these things they'll just keep taking. They'll just try and find whatever things in your life, yeah, and they'll just keep removing it one by one, right? They'll just keep taking all these things, right? If they can't take you, they'll be doing things where whatever possible domino effect from that will happen. They'll certain things will be taken away from you as well, and that's what's happened, all right? So yeah, it's not a good experience, man. It's not good, but that's why that's why now I gotta, because at the end of the day, right? There's no one out there gonna save you, right? There's no one. So I've always been kind of skeptical in my belief in about God, stuff like that. But I do feel like now it's time for me to call on a higher power, call on God to try and get me through this shit. That's why I got a Bible now. That Bible goes with me everywhere I fucking go, right? I make sure I read verses every night. Not any old verses. There's certain verses what I pick, because really I'm out here, when you're out here by yourself, yeah, you got you might have certain people who can help you here and there, a little bit financially, but in the end, who's going to be there at the end? Like when you're by yourself at home, who's there? It's just you by yourself, right? It's just you. So, that's I've got to try different things, because I'm not willing to I'm not willing to lose this battle yet. I'm not ready to. I'm not ready to lose, because I've been through too much, man. And this has been the most testing year of my life. But I'm not ready to quit yet. Don't get me wrong. Some days I want to fucking quit, man. Some days I want to fucking quit. I really do. But then I think, nah, can't, because I'm not a quitter, right? I'm not a quitter, and I just feel like I've been through so fucking much, yeah, by my fucking self, right? I've had no one to fucking talk to about a lot of things, right? And funny, you know what? Tell you what the worst thing is as well, right? It's funny when, I'm just gonna kind of deviate a little bit. It's funny when, it's ironic when certain perpetrators, right, have the audacity to ask you, what have I done? Like, I'm speaking as if what they're saying to me, right? They'll say stuff like, what have I done so wrong for you to be this way with me? Or what have we done so wrong for you to be this way with me? Now, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about my mom and dad, okay? That's what I'm talking about. So I had a conversation with my dad not too long ago. And, I've always been pretty short, pretty blunt with my dad, right? Because he chose himself not to be there. And he admitted that on the last phone call. He want to know why I was a certain way. But going back to what I was saying, one of his, like I said, his question was, he wanted to know why I am the way I am with him and my mom. But let's just talk about him, right? So you want to know why I am the way with him. Like, what have I, he said, look, like, what have I done? What have we done? Right? That's what he said to me, right? So I paused for a couple of seconds and I thought, are you actually fucking serious here? You've actively chosen not to be in my fucking life since I was a kid. You've actively chosen just to see me twice a year as a kid. Right? No one stopped you. My mom never stopped you seeing you. My mom never stopped. No one stopped you from seeing me. No one stopped you from, just being in general contact, right? Even if I don't get to see you, just be in contact. Be it, try and be a dad at the most basic of basics, but you haven't done that. And he had the cheek to ask me, what have I, what have I done? What have I done wrong, or what have I done for you? What have I done for you to be this way with me? The answer to that is, like, what haven't you done? Let's flip it. Like, it's just ironic. Like, it's not about what you have done. It's about what haven't you done. What haven't you done to be a fucking dad? What haven't you done? Like, don't ask me what have I done, because you've done nothing, right? You've done nothing. You've done nothing, right? So it's just it boggles my mind that how certain people, right, who are perpetrators of certain of other people's demise, and then got the fucking audacity to ask them what have they done so wrong. I can't get my fucking head around it. What do you mean? What have you done? What haven't you done? You've fucking been. You haven't been around. You haven't done shit. Yeah. And you wonder why I'm fucking blunt and the way I am. Well, and why I talk the way. No, I don't fucking. I don't swear, or I'm not like that. But I'm very short, very blunt, and for good reason. But I just find it weird how you waited till age 38 of me. I'm 38 now, and for you to ask me that question, it's pretty fucking ironic, isn't it? It's pretty fucking late now, isn't it? But yeah, I had to deviate slightly there, because, like I said, it's some of the people you're supposed to be close to you, or your family, right? They're the ones who are some of the biggest perpetrators of your demise out there. They're the ones who they're the people who compromise. They're the people who contribute to certain people's demise the most. The people who are fucking who are close to the people, close to us the most. So, some of the people who are closest to us the most are the ones that contribute to our fucking demise the most. That's the fucking ironic thing. and they can't fucking see it. So, anyway, enough about that. Because again, I know I don't want to start getting into a certain energy. It's not good having that negative energy. It drains you. You know, what I've learned over these years, the last few years, is how to protect my fucking energy at all costs. My energy, I gotta protect it at fucking all. If I can't protect anything else, I gotta protect my fucking energy at all costs. Okay, you gotta do that. So anyway, without rambling on too much longer, yeah, I've got I've got a video from Sidewiner which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put up soon. I'll put up a little trade over it, and I'll get that. I'll get the Sidewiner video done. Probably by, I don't know, I'll probably get it done by this week, probably end of next week or something like that. Anyway, yeah. Right, so until next time, I'm out of here. Now I can't stop this fucking camera. What's going on? You won't let me stop. Why can't I stop this fucking camera? Oh my god. Press that, back.